All right, so 35 says that we need to find the volume of the plastic needed to make, this looks like one of those kid popper things that you would like flip it upside down and it'd pop. So it's hollow, but it does have a hemisphere kind of plastic coating. So the outer hemisphere has a diameter of 5 inches and the inner has a hemisphere diameter, or the inner hemisphere has a diameter of 4 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the volume of the larger hemisphere and subtract the volume of the smaller hemisphere. So the volume for a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed, and since we're working with hemispheres, we will take half of that. So they tell us that the diameter is 5, so I'm going to start with the larger. The larger hemisphere has a diameter of 5, so it has a radius of 2.5. So if I plug 2.5 in right here, I'm going to get 15.625. Make sure you don't round here so that your answer isn't rounded and then rounded and then rounded, and then your numbers are going to be a little bit off of mine. So for the larger, we'll have 4/3 pi times, again, 2.5 cubed is going to be 15.625, and then at the end we need to remember to take half. If I multiply 15.625 times 4/3, I will get, okay, so I got a number 20.833333. That repeated too much for me to try. I don't want to round. So I went and I pressed math. Oh, you can't see that. I pressed math. It highlighted the word frac. I pressed enter twice and it turned my answer into a fraction, which is 125/6. And I need to take half of that, so that will become 125/12 times pi. And that is going to be inches cubed. So that is the larger. Now I need to subtract out the smaller. The smaller hemisphere will be using the same formula, 4/3 pi r cubed, and we will take half of that. So the radius for the smaller one is going to be 2. If we plug in 2 to the radius, again we got 2 because the diameter is 4. If we plug in 2 to the radius, we'll get 8. So 4/3 pi times 8 times 1/2. So we will do 8 times 4/3, and we will divide that by 2. And after turning it into a fraction, I get the smaller one having 16/3 pi cubic inches. Now, in order to find out how much would be left if I carved out the middle, I'm going to subtract the smaller from the larger. In order to do that in my calculator, I'm going to say 125 divided by 12 is my fraction. And then I'm going to make sure that I have parentheses around everything, keeping everything together. 16 divided by 3. And I get this crazy number. I press math. It highlights frac. I press enter twice, and I get 61/12. I'll write that right here.